Now here I have the rotary tool, and this is the way it's looking. The connection is right here on this box on the left side of it. So let's go install this into the machine. So now I'm taking my rotary tool and I will just drop it over here, just like that. And now with this lever, we'll lock it and it's attached. Now, let me show you one more thing before we get going with this. I did attach some extensions here that comes with the rotary tool. You don't need to use this for what we're doing today. I just keep them on here just because that way I don't lose them and they don't seem to be in the way. So just so you know, that's why mine looks so long. It's because I put those extra wheels in there just so I don't have to store them somewhere else. So let's drop this in there. And now here is the cup we'll be printing on. It's just a Stanley cup I purchased yesterday when I was at Target. Just something quickly to print on. I'll be putting, because I don't want to print over this Stanley writing, I'll be putting the writing downwards. So to attach this into the rotary, all you need to do is put the mouth of the cup goes right here where this knob is. Like that. Then there's a button here that you can move this depending on how long your cup is. So I'll just move it here so the bottom of my cup, it's resting onto these wheels. And then the lever here, I didn't show you that. Now, if you look here, you have this longer knob and there's a button here. So when you push this, you see this protrudes more further and pushes down. This is what is holding pressure onto our cup from the inside to make sure it stays tight against these rollers that are rubberized. And these are the ones that are going to spin your cup. These other rollers here, they just spin freely. We have this button. This is how we move this back and forth depending on the size of our cup. So to attach the cup, the only thing we need to do is pretty much put the inside over there. Trying to do this. Let's see if I can hold it with my knee. Move this close, just like that. And then push this button in to lock it in place. So that's how we attach it to the machine. So let me install this in the printer. Lock it in place. I'm gonna put the writing down because I don't want to print on the writing. So putting this there, locking this in place, move these guys close, and there you go, we are all set up. Now, I don't know if you noticed when I showed you my cup, it's tapered. So you see it's a lot skinnier on the bottom than the top. When you print something or engrave something on a cylindrical object, the printer head cannot move up and down. It will only go left to right. So this has to be completely parallel in order to be properly focused for printing. One problem that I always had with rotary tools is that you have to use a level bubble to make sure that your thing is parallel and adjusted properly. This machine does all of that on its own. So I want you to pay attention. I'm going to secure this back in there. And I want you to pay attention on how this machine will automatically, when it takes the measurement of the cup, I don't have to measure it, I don't need calipers, I don't need tape measure. Machine will do all of that for me. And also it will lift this side of the machine where the taper part is, you will lift it up so it will become everything parallel with the printer head that is on the top. So I want you to pay attention of that when we get printing. Let me go get my computer. I am going to record my screen so you can see exactly what I'm doing. And here is the software, really easy, really straightforward. Right now it says standard flatbed, but our current, you can see we have installed the rotary tool. So I'm gonna click on that. And then we are greeted with this view over here. This is not exactly what it looks like inside the machine now because we have not measured the cup yet, and for that we need to click on this auto measure. So I'm gonna click on that. Let me make sure I'm still recording. Yes, I am. And right now we have to tell it what kind of cup we have there. Do we have something that is not tapered? Does it have a handle? And so on. Ours looks more like this. So I'm gonna click on that and just go to the auto measure. So now it's using two lasers inside the machine and taking all kinds of measurements, and it takes pictures. And I want you to really pay attention how this side, it will start lifting up to get the cup parallel to the printer head. You see that happening right now? So easy, such a well-designed tool. It spins it around, so it takes a measurement of the width of the cup all around. So now that it's done doing all of its measurements, over here we have an updated result. It tells us exactly what is the diameter of the upper cup, the bottom of it, the height. So we know all these measurements. Now we can just click on replace canvas. And now here is our new canvas, and this is exactly the size of our cup. So by looking at my cup, I don't want to go too high up because I do have that silver band. So let's bring in a design. Maybe we'll use one of my designs that I uploaded here. So let's take an image of, I really like this birdhouse. So I'm gonna bring this one in. So I'm gonna make it smaller. This is too big. I'm gonna make it something like this. And right here, as you can see, this line in the middle, this represents the very top of our cup. So it's right there on the very top. And on the other side, right over here or here, it's where the writing of the Stanley is. So now I can arrange this however I please. So I'm gonna go with something like this. I like the way that looks. Maybe it's a little bit too big. Just like that. This is just for demonstration purposes. Actually, I might give this to my mother-in-law for Mother's Day. All right. So we have our design. It's looking great. Now I'm going to go to Start Print Task. And then here we can choose what kind of settings we want. You can choose a pre-set setting. I'm just going to leave it on custom. And then right here you can choose if you want white and color or just color, if you want glass. All these settings for me, because the cup is already white, I'm going to skip the white layer. I'm just going to go with a color plus a gloss varnish. So that's what I'm going to keep for settings. And then we can also preview our cup in 3D here. I forgot to show you that. So this is the way it's going to look. I could have made the design bigger or put it higher, but this is the way it's showing us it's going to look. I'm gonna go back to 2D, and for quality, of course, we want the highest quality. Why not? I am going to click on Start Printing. Now it's telling us to push the start button on the machine. That's what that sound is. And it also tells us for this print is going to estimate ink volume that is going to use is 0.16 milliliters. So not much at all. This is the colors and how much of each color we'll be using. And without any further ado, let's click the button and let this print. All right, you guys, our cup is done printing. Let's see what we got. Look at that. Isn't that so cool? And just like that, we got a nice print on our cup. I think the printer did a fantastic job. Very, very sharp print, vibrant colors, very, very nice. Super happy with the result. And most of all, it was so easy. The software, the placement of the design, you see I was trying to do it on the other side of the writing, so that's the way it happened. Everything worked really nicely, and like you saw, it's really easy. Anyone can do this. I hope this was useful to you and you learned something new. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Skylar Ewing, and I'll see you in my next video.